The recent technical glitches with the income tax portal has left many individual taxpayers with constant worry, as they are finding it difficult to complete their ITR filing process before the deadline of September 30th. But to provide some relief to the taxpayers, the Central Board of Direct Taxes had recently extended the deadline to file their ITR to December 31st for the year 2021-22. So this means that now you get over a 3 months time to file your ITR. But this doesn't mean that you sit back and relax. Filing of income tax returns might be a very tedious and a long process. And so it is advisable to every taxpayer and tax professionals to use this extra time to accurately calculate their tax liability, avoid interest charges, and duly report all the source of incomes. This is especially important in case you are an DIY ITR filer, which means those taxpayers who file their returns on their own. In order to be able to compute accurate tax liability, there are certain tax rules that every taxpayer must be aware of. For instance, a lot of taxpayers fail to report their interest income in their returns, which is fully taxable. A taxpayer is required to disclose all their source of income even if certain deductions or exemptions is available on certain incomes. So today I have got you a list of other incomes that you might fail to include in your returns, and it needs to be mentioned in your return. Hi, I am Namrata Pandey. Welcome to IndianMoney.com. Let's get started. So first is interest income. So interest earned on fixed deposits, savings accounts, post office term deposits, and other small savings schemes are completely taxable. However, few taxpayers fail to report these incomes in their returns. On the other hand, there are some taxpayers who believe that the tax is not payable if their banks deduct TDS on interest. However, the TDS is only 10% on the interest, whereas it is 20% if the PAN is not provided. So, if a taxpayer falls under the high tax slab, then he or she needs to pay the additional tax on the interest earned. Let me also tell you that all the interest payments made by the finance institutions are reported to Income Tax Department, as the investments made are directly linked to your PAN. So, these interest income needs to be added as income from other source in your return. Second is dividends. Not many investors would know that the dividends that they earn from mutual funds or stocks are now taxable. Notably, from the financial year 2020-2021, the dividend distribution tax was removed and every investor has to pay tax on the dividend income. These incomes are added to the taxable income of the taxpayer and are taxed as per the slab rates. Third is gifts and clubbed income. As the term suggests, clubbing of income means adding or including the income of another person, mostly of a family member, to one's own income. Most people act smart and they divert their income in their wife's name to reduce their tax burden. They usually do this when the wife is not working or if the wife is in the lower tax bracket. And this is one of the biggest mistakes any taxpayer does, maybe because of the lack of knowledge of the income tax laws. So, as per the provisions of the Income Tax Act, a person is taxed, 1, for his own income, and second, if he receives any income from somebody else. And it's here that the clubbing of income applies. For example, if a husband diverts his income in his wife's name to save the tax burden, then this transferred income of the wife is added and taxed as the income of the husband and not the wife. Tax rules say that a money gifted by a spouse is invested and the income from that investment will be clubbed with that of the giver and is taxed accordingly. Likewise, income made from the investments made in the name of a spouse and minor children, then that will also be added as the income of the giver. Fourth is capital gains. Long-term capital gains made from equities and equity-oriented mutual funds beyond rupees 1 lakh in a year is taxable. So, you are not only required to maintain the records of all transactions, but also properly calculate the capital gains because of different tax rates applicable to different or various instruments. The new rule requires the details of scribes, buying price, selling price, dates of transactions to be added or mentioned in your return form if you have made a long-term gain. However, this is applicable only if you have made long-term gains and not for short-term gains. Fifth, rent. So if you own a property, it could be a commercial property or a rental property from which you're earning a rental income, then you'll have to show that or mention that in your returns, and that is taxable. However, this is taxable only after the 30% standard deduction. So for example, you own a property from which you earn rupees 10 lakh, and then after the 30% standard deduction, you will have to pay tax on the remaining income. So these were some of the incomes from other sources that you need to mention while you file your ITR. Also, if you want to learn about tax planning, about investments, about mutual funds, IPO, fixed deposit, or anything to do with financial content, then don't forget to click the link below in the description box and download the Financial Freedom app right away. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified and watch our videos. Thank you for watching IndianMoney.com. Be wise and get rich.